Professor Stewart and I are here to work through the two most intense patterns, catalyst patterns in yellow belt. And we're not going to name the name of the lesson, but you're going to recognize it. The first one is against the kick. We're going to show you the way that Chris was taught it, and then we're going to show how Christian Kenpo in its development has influenced that pattern. So it's a right straight front kick, ball of the foot, and I'm going to give it to Chris right now. He's kind of sick right now, so he's not going to do a lot of talking. But oh, by the way, thanks to Andy Seatherton in the UK and his son Joe for the fantastic shirts that you're seeing on both of us right now. We really appreciate it. So the first one is against the kick. So what he's going to do is he's going to step back naturally with a lesser deflection downward block that passes his hip. And then it's going to, as he steps forward or pushes off his back foot, his right arm is going to go through the motion of a pass-through chamber, and then he's going to do a horizontal inward elbow strike. Go ahead and do it again, sir, please. Okay. Now, the influence of Christian Kenpo on this pattern, it's interesting how the Christian Kenpo, which came after, is influencing the precursor. You want to watch Chris's left heel. Seeing how this whole thing, this whole series is about the high neutral. As you see the whole thing, there's that heel up the ground. I know that was kind of silly, sorry. But the high neutral and how it's influenced our review of the precursor lessons. So he's going to do it. I think he should do it facing that direction. And you want to pay attention to, can you roll up the
Yes.
He's going to roll up the back so you can see what we're talking about. A good visual on the high neutral. Now he's just going to do it. He's not going to do it embryonic. He's just going to go through the whole motion. Go ahead, sir. Good. One more time, a little slower, but all the way through. Good. Now, that high neutral can be here or it can be here. This is a high close kneel. This is a high neutral, but it's an aggressive one, okay? Now I want to talk real quick about, this is in the precursor pattern, this block is a lesser deflection. So it goes past the hip through your depth. A greater deflection block, which everyone knows, passes through your width in a circle. It's a path of action. This is a path of attack rather than a path of action because you're striking the outside of the ankle. But what we're going to do is we're going to open the hand in the Christian Kenpo version of it, and we're going to strike the ankle this way, and then we're going to hook. He's not going to do that on me because I don't want my head to bounce off the floor. But it's basically the same motion, but we're hooking. We've talked about actually cupping. But you would want to do that standing next to a pool because the guy's going to flip right into, not good for the cabeza. So again, tell you what, let's do it facing that direction, sir. From here, face there, please. Face that way. Yeah. And then just accentuate the chop. Now, again, when you make it the hit, then we're going to go halfway between the cup and the hammer. We're going to just simply do this. It's like a frictional pull. Exactly. These are the refinements that we received from Pat Salantri back in 1991. You will find the influences of what we're doing in the margins as Pat wrote them in the big red book. I know I'm making a very general, a very specific statement, but what we do is refined, or it's a revision, it's a clarification mostly. Okay, so that is the second most intense catalyst, which is the front kick. Grabs are probably the lowest. Pushes come after that, and then punches. Then you got the kicks, and of course you got the stick. Okay, so we're going to show I'm going to grab the stick, the rubber stick, and then he's going to show you what the precursor pattern looks like in the yellow belt system. And I'm not actually going to do the attack to him. I can't. still recovering from surgery on my foot. But what you want to look for is that where is the high neutral in this pattern? Well, it comes from a thing called a gauge leg. There are two kicks in this pattern. One's a ball of the foot kick and the other is the side kick. And in between the ball of the foot kick, you have a gauge leg, which means, as you can see this stick, as I kick, I rotate to the left or to 9 o'clock, and then I throw my side kick. But you don't see any neutral bow or high neutral until you get to the middle of those kicks, the transition. It's transitional only. Okay? What's your best?
I'll do it two directions. I'll do it to the camera and then to my right. So once again, this precursor pattern, overhead club coming at me. I'm going to do it embryonically first both ways, and then I'll do it as has been refined. And then to the side. Gauge leg sets up the kick. Now in more of the refined motion. And this direction.
One of the things about this is a development that I had some help with. When Chris does the refined version, he's slapping his hands, okay? And why is he slapping his hands? Well, what that is going to teach beginning students is to not be crossing their own arms. The idea that if you have one hand in front of the other, you can be pinned, and then you've got to fight from this position, and you really can't unless you really know how to use, certain things like strike set strike set 2, but you don't learn that as a beginner. The idea is to hit the perspective horse. In other words, I'm standing here, the club comes at me, and like a lot of the precursor club patterns, I'm just getting out of the way, and I'm not blocking anything until I get to this point here. I may track the weapon, or the arm holding the weapon, but that's a positional check. Okay? When I throw the kick, I then transition here. Hips, control, feet. Right? And so when I'm here like this, this is my high, this is my aggressive high neutral. So then when I kick, I drive my right hand down, and then it has all that area of travel. Those are for beginners. However, Chris at his stage, as he comes to here and he throws the kick, he only needs this distance right here because he understands he's getting more body momentum. He's hitting you with the truck, not just with the bumper. Okay, that's really important. But that is taught to beginners. Always hit with the entire mass, not just the weapon itself. Do you have anything to say, sir?
No, but notice the perspective neutral bow in, shall we say, the embryonic phase is showing students specifically from your beginning base of action. I'm stepping to that perspective neutral bow. Horse stance, which gives me the neutral to my 12, gives me the horse to my 1030, which gives me another neutral then to 3, and then the perspective rear bows. But this is giving our students a base of action to then spring forward to that cat. Versus in more refined motion later it's all transitional. Yes, the high neutral and the perspective horse stance is there, but just for a fraction of a second. When I go from my base of action, what we call
Point of origin.
well, not only point of origin, but our preposition 1, preposition 2. Preposition 1 with my right foot slightly forward. As I step, it's just momentary. I'm going from one to the other and shifting my way in and through transition. It's the only comments I had, Professor.
Go back to that feet together.
Yep.
So you're in a, I don't know, going on, just regular stance. This pre-position thing is kind of important because if I have my hand behind my back and he can't see what my hand is doing, he is immediately, because it's my right hand, he's going to pre-position. Why, sir? Why would you pre-position?
Well, it's helping to reduce the amount of time. I know my ability to respond, my response and intent. Right now, I only know your potential catalyst, but I can already tell your intent. So I'm placing part of me farther away from the potential weapon and part of me closer to, so that I can in fact choose to do the quote-unquote Kenpo no-no of a split stance.
But we can cover a split stance depending on range. This is the 4 ranges of contact. Right now, with my hand and my feet, I am within contact. Now I am not. This changes that contact range, because I can at least poke him, okay? But the idea is to bludgeon, not to stab. So with my hand back here, and he's just standing naturally, like this, I come up to him, I blah, blah, blah. Well, he simply steps back, okay? Which means he now can, as I move forward towards him, he can either split stance, depending on the catalyst, or split back. So let's say it's my punch. I got my hand back here, and I'm just kind of like, trying to sucker punch him. He can push off that. He can split, and come in. Actually, once you switch to the other one, because I'm going to throw the right hand, okay? And he's going to split. Okay, yeah, thanks. okay. Take my gloves off. Okay, but if he knows, if he sees this come up before I do anything, he's not going to split forward. He's going to split back. Oh look, he's doing that kick catalyst. He's doing the kick catalyst, right? He can do whatever he really wants to. So it's about the 4 ranges. It's about those 2 ranges. If my hand is here and I'm close enough and he pre-positions, and then I throw that punch, boom, he can, boom. Oh look, we're going back to the stick catalyst. Or something called, no, we won't call it. It was called a 5 count a long time ago. But if it comes here and I show this, it's not smart to move in. He's going to move back a little bit. Boom, and oh, there's that blue belt catalyst, blue belt pattern lesson that you want at some point. So that's just a little added on to here. Again, sir, you step back with the left, I'll step back with my right. We're going to pre-position, right?
Pre-position.
Or we're going to split, depending on range. Someone is far enough away that as they throw what we can see, a catalyst, a punch, we're going to split to come forward to get that kinetic linking into that thing right there. Why am I repeating this? Because I'm shifting weight. If it's a kick, if somebody's like here and they're a karate guy and they get lined up through a kick, well then it would be stupid to move forward unless I know unless I know how to do some other kind of block. But I'm just going to pre-position before he does that, and then when he throws the kick, I split by going back. I split by going back. And what is the split? It's basically that motion there. Anything else?
That was it.
All right. Thank you for those who are watching. Any comments would be fantastic. Thumb up, thumb down. It's up to you. But we're going to wear our rank from now on. It seems to mean more to people. But in reality, I've never been attacked with my karate belt on. Have you?
No, never.
No. Never really have her. Never, not even walking out, say. That's one of the reasons why we say students should wear their uniform, full uniforms, out the door. Somebody might want to challenge you. Okay, that's up to you. All right? All right, thank you very much. We're done.
Catch you guys later.